Welcome back to Supper and Suds. I'm Ron. If you're returning to watch another episode of this, I appreciate that. If this is your first time watching, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Kind of the premise behind what I do here is I'm single, I live alone, I work a full-time job. So over a period of time, I learned to cook for myself. And so, though I like to cook, I'm busy, so I don't have a lot of time to cook. So I try to maximize any time I spend in the kitchen. And I've learned how to fix some quick, easy meals. You can get a lot of recipes of your own online. You don't need me for that. But I'm going to show you how I do some dishes and how I take those and kind of roll them over into subsequent days' meals. The other thing I do is I like to try a little beer on here. I'm a beer drinker. I'm not a big drinker, but I like to have beer with dinner maybe. I have my daily drinkers, but the one thing I really like to do is I like to try different things, different types of beer. I don't drink the same old thing all the time. So I like to drink different beer, try them, see how they pair with the types of meals that I'm fixing. So, you know, being single, it's easy for anybody really, to kind of get a little bit lazy, right? We just stop out and grab fast food, or we get takeout food, or we go out and eat because a lot of you don't feel like cooking at the end of the day. But there's a couple problems with that. Number one, it's expensive. Food prices have gone up. Restaurant food is expensive anyway, and I'll be honest, most of the time I can fix it better at home. But we tend to overeat, overdrink when we eat out, which is not really healthy. So I just have done some things. Guys, I eat out sometimes, okay? But I try, especially through the week, to not eat out, to have kind of pre-planned meals. So I did a segment a while back, fixed a pot roast, put some white onion, potatoes, mushrooms in there. And so I had some technical difficulties, so I didn't get to show what I did subsequently with that pot roast. And so this past week I revisited that. I made another roast. I didn't go back into re-showing you everything with the roast, but I showed you how I took that roast, and I had roast and potatoes one night, and then the next night I took a portion of that roast and shredded it and had beef barbecue. Fantastic meal. I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I don't think anybody's expecting this. So one of the things, you fix this really beautiful pot roast. You've got, I put about 3 to 4 cups of water in there, kind of depends. I put what's called some Lipton dry onion soup mix in there, a packet of that. I put a bunch of mushrooms, about a half of a white onion. And so when you get done fixing that pot roast, what you have left is this, all right? If you can't see this, this is all that broth, that beef broth. There's onions, there's mushrooms, there's even little shards of a little bit of meat in there, right? Just leftover pieces. And so, guys, I'm going to show you today what I do with that. I'm going to dump that down the garbage disposal. That is great. So what I have done is I have this leftover broth and onions and mushrooms. I warmed it up a little bit in the microwave, and I added another packet just directly to that. Mixed it in, right? And so what I'm going to show you to do is I make a French onion mushroom soup in the oven. So I'm going to preheat my oven on broil, okay? And then I've just got a little baking pan. You can get whatever something oven safe, right? You make some glassware that's oven safe, whatever the case may be. So basically I'm going to take some of this soup. You can see this, I think, a little bit here. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff here, guys, right? So there's mushrooms and onions, and I've got the seasoning in there. And so I'm gonna, and there's enough left in here for a couple portions of this, large portions actually. And so you can see what I've done. I put it in a baking dish. And I picked up at the grocery some French, this is Panera actually, French bread, okay? So I'm gonna take a piece of that French bread out of there, and I am going to cut me some slices of that French bread. All right. Now, I actually kind of like to tear them apart, and I'm gonna put those right on top of this soup. All right. So I'm going to put that in there. We're going to pile that in. A few slices. We're going to put that on there. And then I'm going to put some provolone cheese on top. Okay. A couple slices of that. Okay. And you really can't put too much of that, I don't think. So I'm gonna put some cheese on that. And then I'm actually gonna put a little shredded Parmesan on there as well. Okay. And guys, you can put whatever you really like. You can put some cheddar cheese, mozzarella, kind of whatever you like. So I have my oven on broil. I would recommend putting a baking sheet with some nonstick foil or something on that. And I am going to put that in the oven, and I'm going to let that bake till that cheese is nice and melted, but I don't want to burn it. So you do kind of got to wash it a little bit if you haven't figured out and done it before to kind of get some timing. It doesn't take a long time on broil in there. So while that is cooking, I'm going to try a beer that I've never tried before today. Now, this is Samuel Adams Winter Lager. This is a seasonal product. They don't make it all year round. And I've never had it. I'm gonna try it. You're gonna see my reaction to it live. And hey, I'm gonna find out. Now I'm gonna tell you, I have had a couple Samuel Adams products in the past. And I've got mixed feelings on it, to be quite honest with you. But we're gonna see what this is like. So we're gonna do this live and right here in person. So boy, you can see that's really a dark beer, right? We're gonna get a little head to it there. And so there you go. All right, so as I always like to do, I like to get a little nose on that. Now guys, that's definitely I smell some wheat and definitely very hoppy. So as I always say, the first taste is a waste. Kind of want to let that kind of just work into my palate a little bit. The second, I'll take another drink here in a second and really have a better idea. But definitely a dark beer. I'm gonna read this to you here. All right, I'm gonna put my glasses on. So anyway, what this says is holiday lager's rich malt notes and accents of cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel are perfect for any festivity. So having read that, I try not to let that influence my critique a little bit, but I do smell a little bit of that cinnamon and ginger there. I can't say I really tasted it a whole lot across my palate, but we're going to take another drink because this is really going to tell the tale. So again, it's got a pretty good nose on it, but it's pleasant. So I would have to agree a little bit with that, what I read off the bottle there. I definitely taste a little bit of that cinnamon up front. It's not sweet. That ginger as well, but I definitely taste some weed in this. And one of the things that's really important to me is finish. I've talked about that a lot of times. So I definitely taste that orange peel, that bitter on the finish of this. For my personal taste, this is just a tad bitter for me. Now, if that's your thing, and I know a lot of people, I got some great friends that have a YouTube channel, and I suggest you watch that. It's called Bourbon Country Reacts. These guys, they're kind of metalheads. They listen to, they're always been rock guys, but they kind of got doing this thing where they sample bourbon, because they're kind of bourbon guys, and they listen to country music and they just react to that. They're hearing these songs for the first time. Pretty cool channel, check it out, Bourbon Country Reacts. But those guys, bourbon guys, they tend to like that bitter finish. Not so much for me. It's why I'm not really a big bourbon guy. I really more like beer. And one of the things with the finish that I dislike is when that bitter lingers on the palate for a while. This does hang on a little bit, but that bitterness kind of fades. And I think I'm really tasting some of that cinnamon. It's just kind of hanging there on the palate. So the bitterness kind of fades, and then I think that cinnamon overtakes that. So it's not bad. So if you like something that's a little bitter, you're gonna like this. Again, it really got a lot of color to it. It's probably that cinnamon ginger in there, but it's kind of more of a, I think because of the cinnamon, the orange peel, it kind of pairs well with the holidays. I like this beer. I'm not saying this definitely would not be kind of a go-to for me. But all in all, it's not bad. And even with that drink there, I definitely think more of the cinnamon is coming through across the tongue. And again, got a little bit of that bitter on the back end with that orange peel. So all in all, not a bad beer. So I'm gonna take a break from this. I'm gonna keep an eye on our French onion soup. When it's done, I'm gonna pop it out, let you get a look at the finished product. And so I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. So guys, this French onion soup is done. It only took a few minutes. Don't run off and leave that, you'll burn it. So I'm gonna give you a look at this, okay? So basically, look at that. Fantastic. We took what was left from our roast, all that broth, mushrooms, onions, and we've put some French bread, some cheese on top. We're gonna just boil that basically on broil, melt that cheese, get it out of there before it burns. And we have a delicious French onion soup. So I'm gonna try to take a taste of this without, and you can see, guys, I really want you to see this. So you can see I've got that bread in there, And so now we're gonna take a piece of this, right? Right, and now we've got, look at that. Guys, that's doggone near restaurant quality stuff. Guys, that is freaking phenomenal. Somebody's gonna say, well, I don't really like onions. Me neither. This is fantastic. So, God, I gotta hurry up and get this done because I want to eat this. That is amazing. So, we fixed the pot roast. We had pot roast and potatoes and all that good stuff. And then we had some beef barbecue. And now we have a delicious French onion soup. Guys, that took no time to fix whatsoever. It was really quick. I maybe have 15 minutes in that deal, really from start to finish. And it's amazing. Amazing. So anyway, we've got a little bit of Samuel Adams winter lager to go along with it. I think it goes pretty well. And we simplified our life a little bit. So listen, I hope that you've enjoyed this whole segment with the pot roast deal and the barbecue and the French onion soup. Guys, you're gonna flip over that French onion soup. I am not joking. It is restaurant quality. It is fantastic. I cannot wait to sit down and eat this when this is done. So listen, if you like what I'm doing, please like my channel, please subscribe, and please tell somebody else. Because I like to keep doing this, but you know, if there's not a lot of interest there, you know, I'm just gonna cook and enjoy my cooking and not you know, put a lot of time into this. But I have fun doing it. I am getting some feedback. So please, you know, spread the word a little bit and enjoy this. This is good. This is really good. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll do it, and let me know when you do it if you liked it. So if you have any questions or comments, anything that you would like to see me fix, some ideas, any beer you'd like to see me try, reach out, comment. Until next time, I'm out.